So now let's start hammering home the first matchup we are going to be watching, G2 and Aqualix. You got NA, you got EU, you got a reigning champ, and you got another team that I believe did very well in the last event. I don't think they got third or fourth. I think they finished off in round one. They did qualify for day two, if I'm not mistaken, beating Na'Vi 3-1 in last month in the last event. But they're here now, and this is going to be a big test. And girl, we'll start off with you. When it comes to Aqualix, because I think that's the biggest thing, right? What do we need to see from them today that we didn't see last month? Because I don't think we had a chance to see them yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think we've seen them yesterday on broadcast. And the thing that I saw from last tournament is that they were the first team to surprise another team with the Octane jump pad and I believe Party Crasher. And that's what I really liked about them. So that's why in my mind, they've got tricks up their sleeves. They got strategies that we perhaps have never seen before. I'd like to see that come through. I know they've been practicing arenas as a team in ranked as well. So I know they got their practice down. Maybe G2 just felt confident and didn't prepare at all. That might come to advantage. But we never know. I just want to see some tricks.
Yeah, in tricks we saw yesterday, and I'm hoping we see some tricks today. For sure, Aqualix is going to have to bring those tricks because G2 was throwing everything in the kitchen sink at them, including that Mirage play, which was incredible plays. I know we were a fan of that. There's two players, though, we have to take a look out from G2 and, of course, Aqualix. That's Resultuh and Gnaske, two very dominant pros in their own right, and quite honestly are going to have a big impact when it comes to this matchup as a whole.
Yeah, both those players are going to have a huge matchup, Taylor. Some of the mains, the two I want to say highest damage outputters for both their squads. And yesterday, Resultuh was just having a time of his life, creating opportunities for his team, putting out damage. And I'm excited to watch, that player matchup going into this one because we know that they're going to have a high impact on how these team fights are about to go.
Yeah, Resultuh, honestly, really one of the highest damaging players, other than Gentrifyinq. Gentrifyinq, I think, had the highest DPS. Resultuh, though, was getting the finishes consistently in the matches he was taking place. I mean, I'm looking at an average of about 5 eliminations per game he was playing. Just numbers you expect to come out from him in general. But you know what? Let's take a look at the maps, right? Because we have 6 in rotation. One's going to be out, and these are going to be the 5 we are going to see in our first series for Championship Sunday. Phase Runner, Artillery, Thermal Station, Gardens, and Party Crasher. You got 3 very different maps to start off, and in a way, some of our slower maps, I guess, other than Artillery, which could be quicker, girl.
Yeah, we all know that G2 really likes Thermal Station, although they lost their first game yesterday. Phase Runner, Artillery, they're both like 50-50 maps for me. They have all that long range for both of the squads. Maybe Aqualix will like that more. I know they definitely like the longbow scout plays. We'll see. I don't think I've seen G2 play a lot of sniper. I'm not sure if you've seen them play a lot of sniper.
Honestly, I don't know if they really have a chance because they're always in your face, right? Slaying you out. That's the scary thing about G2 is when they get up close and personal, kind of like Arena Demons yesterday, they make the most of it, Blaze. And that's why, as Girl said, she brought up a great point. When it comes to the first 3 maps, specifically, Phase Runner, and then you have, Thermal Station, like those are 2 maps that are going to be spaced out quite a bit. And for Aqualix, that could be great for them. Spacing and pacing is kind of the name of their game as opposed to G2. They can space it out. Look, they're an all-around team. They can do no wrong. But it's going to benefit Aqualix, in my mind, to space out that fight. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right, Taylor. They're going to have to put some distance between themselves and G2 now, because when it comes down to it, if you can we saw the production of the longbows come through, all right? Multiple Gibbies out there putting out damage, and we know when it comes down to the economy in these matchups, those headshots hitting for 80, 90, 110, that's forcing your opponent to pop a battery in a difficult situation. But also that's giving you the opportunity to move in closer, make the play, and initiate the fight on your terms. And I think that's what Aqualix needs to do to beat G2, because on the flip end, G2 will give them opportunities, all right? Because they're not going to sit back for too long. That's not their play style. Resultuh will find a way to get in there, to get behind enemy lines, to disrupt you, and then the squad's going to start to move in. And at that point, you just better hope you put some damage on them right before, because when that Gibby bubble go down, it's going to be a close range battle.
Yeah, I mean, girl, he brings up a great point. You know, damage control, resource management is a big thing. We were seeing that done very well from Arena Demons yesterday. Now, to Navi's credit, they did a great job, bringing out the pulse rifle and doing, in my opinion, a great job kind of, battling against that, getting their own chip damage, which was great. But getting that chip damage is incredible. A good IGL should be calling out the numbers. I think every player should be keeping track, but a good IGL should know when to strike once those resources have been depleted. So taking all this into account as we move into our prediction segment, girl, you've heard a lot. I know you know both of these teams, the ins and out of how they play. So I got to ask you, are you going with the underdog, which clearly is Aqualix? Are you going to finally break that 100% win-loss record whenever it comes to your predictions? I just want to know.
So I thought about it, and it's really, really hard to go against G2 because they have won the whole series last time around. And it's really hard to put that trust in my win rate versus into Aqualix. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
They did lose a game yesterday. They didn't make it to finals last time around. I just feel like G2 has an up on them, and that's why I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, G2's clearly the favorite. Blaze, are you going with girl? You going with their new duo? What are you thinking?
You know what, Taylor, when it comes down to days like this, championship Sundays, where big time players got to make big time plays and they know how to perform under pressure and they use that pressure to just propel themselves forward to another chip, I think G2, they know that pressure all too well. And I can't bet against them today, okay? I have to go with G2 in this matchup. Nothing against Aqualix, but when it comes down to it, they just got to, prove us all wrong and knock out the champs right now.
Yeah,
all right, do it up. Take the spotlight. You guys think y'all could do it? Now is the time.
And I think they know that, Blaze. I think they know this is the series that they have to provide an upset. Look, you performed well yesterday. You finally qualified. And then round one, you've got to go against G2. It's like, man, that sucks. But it's early in the morning for these gamers. That's one thing to take into account. Hopefully G2 had their rest because, hey, all it takes is a couple of slip-ups in Aqualix. They're going to capitalize. Chat, who are you going with? G2, Aqualix? Where are you going to put your allegiance? G2, fair enough. So again, Aqualix, it's up to you. Everybody's betting against you. You're the heavy underdog. No matter how talented you are, G2, they know their arenas, and they've already proven that by winning the last event. So G2 clearly the favorite Aqualix. You're the ones who's going to have to step it up. I'm looking at, honestly, Gnaske. I think Gnaske is going to be the big guy for me on that roster to really perform well for Aqualix. Of course, though, he'll be opposite of Resultuh, and Resultuh is not going to let him live too long. He's going to be the guy getting that early, or not early damage, right? I think I kind of covered that. It's going to be Gentrifyinq. But when it comes to Gnaske, he's going to be the one in your face getting the finishes. So therefore, he could be equally as deadly. I can't wait to get this thing started. I really can't. And the worrying thing about that map pick, girl, was the fact that you said Thermal Station is kind of G2's home. I believe that's map 3, if I'm not mistaken. It's either map 1 or map 3. So that's 3. Scary. That is scary, girl.
It is indeed. And yesterday they lost their first round against Kungarna, but they brought it back around. Not sure if it was because Kungarna weren't playing as well after the first round, because they did get the DC in round 2, but they brought it back, and they are our reigning champs for a reason. They're strong. They know the ins and outs. They know how to get that high ground real quick. I believe last tournament, G2 got arc stuck, though.
Yes, that was incredible.
Yeah, Thermal Station. So they're going to have to watch out for those arc stars again today.
Yeah.
I feel like arc stars work really well on that map in particular. So see if that happens today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that arc star destroyed them and they lost. I'm going to hop off, Blaze. I know you got a lot to say, but the map's being loaded up. Blaze, girl, take it away.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Taylor. And you know what? So, girl, as we were seeing these different legends come through yesterday throughout the tournament, one legend that we got a chance to see, and I know is, one of your favorites out there, is Fuse. Now, when it comes down to Fuse's kit, his ability to launch those arc stars and Thermal Station map specifically, that dome control, Fuse could be really annoying when it comes down to taking control over that top dome and using those arc stars if somebody wants to pull him out on Thermal Station.
Yeah, honestly, I never really thought of that, to be honest, but 100% Fuse could definitely be used. He'll have so many grenades to be able to throw inside the building, on top of the building. They could take quick control of that dome. But I'm not sure if any of these teams have thought of it yet. We're going to have to wait till map 3 to find that out. First map today is Phase Runner, and this is G2 versus Aqualix. It's super exciting.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting indeed. And I think, maybe these teams should just hire us to be strategists at this point, okay? We got a few tricks up our sleeves, a few ideas out there. But hey, we aren't the professionals. The professionals are about to play right now. It's G2 versus Aqualix. And these two squads know that this is it. This is where they have to be the best version of themselves. It's Championship Sunday, and we're going to have a beautiful grapple here from the Pathfinder to get just a little bit closer, because as we know, when it comes down towards this compound, those opening meds are going to be so key in this round number 1.
I love it. Yuki starting off with the Mozambique, and he outputs so much damage there. I wanted to touch on that earlier, that Yuki outputs a lot of damage for his team, creating an opening. Gnaske went far right. Wow, they've got to win this round. The other team must not have any meds at all. The headshot from across the map with the repeater. Was he watching Arena Demons yesterday, or was he repping it yesterday on his own? I have no idea, but those shots were amazing. Resultuh actually already dead.
Now G2 in a difficult position here as they're trying to fight back Aqualix. The wingman shots aren't going to connect right there, but I love the reposition that he fought in that spot for too long. His opponent's trying to formulate a plan around it, but now Dezignful can't connect. But now with that not coming through, Gentrifyinq making a play, making it a 2v2. The Mozambique is connecting. The kills are trying to get cleaned up, but Gentrifyinq may be the hero of this round momentarily. But as I say that, Aqualix, they're going to lock in round number 1.
Hey, like I said, I know Aqualix, and I know they're going to think long and hard about this. They're going to do the VOD reviews. They're going to think of all these different strategies. And to be honest, I seen it coming. I seen that they would pull out some new things today. And hey, Gnaske went far right with the repeater, landing a body shot headshot. That was unexpected, but expected all at the same time, eh?
Yeah, it definitely was. A very, very action-packed and exciting round number 1 coming through. As we get geared up for round number 2, it looks like both these squads are going to be going towards the phase runner side. And we know here we get a bunch of frag grenades being tossed right off the start. A few arc stars. Not going to see it this early on. Don't want to waste that economy just yet. Need to save those nades here for the later portion of these rounds. But as I say that, we got a few being tossed from Yuki, and he connects. He actually is going to be able to get another hit marker with the wingman. Gentrifyinq is going to have to heal up. He's out the fight for now. But I do believe G2 was able to acquire those meds off the start. So that's going to do great for their economy. Well, at least for now, because the Aqualix, they are on the move. I'm loving this flank here by Gnaske over here on the right.
Yeah, he connected every shot. His tracking has been perfect, and the space that he created throughout round 1 and 2 is phenomenal. Although G2 is playing Gibraltar, I don't know if you noticed, but Aqualix is actually running a Wraith today. They do not have a Gibraltar, so that way G2 is going to get most of the meds. They have the security of those meds. Now, as long as they could survive and stick together, if they could get that close range fight that they're dying to have, they might be able to pull this one through. But Gnaske with those angles, he's going crazy. Oh, Dezignful, he doesn't like Gnaske at all. He's going in, he wants to get him.
I love it from Dezignful. He's trying to be the alpha here in this play. He says, get away from this angle, Gnaske. He says, stop shooting us in the side. But with that grapple, he put a few shots to relieve some pressure from the team. And they needed that, because I feel like majority of this round, they were just getting, they were taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, they were getting bullied there for sure, 100%.
Bullied is definitely the word.
And G2, you know, when they get mad, when they get frustrated or angry, you can see it. Dezignful hit him for 90, and he went in. He's like, I can win my ones. My wingman is better than yours. Let's get it on. And he made that space for his team, like you said. Now it's going to be a little bit of a stalemate. Everyone's healed up. Everyone's full HP. And Gnaske trying to make the move again. He's walking closer. He gets a crack, but he's also cracked himself. He's 50 HP. He cannot take any more damage here. Can he get out with that amazing grapple? He did.
Just in the nick of time. Both squads had a player that had to retreat, heal up. But as this zone's moving in, this final battle is about to ensue.
Yes,
Gentrifyinq does not have any more meds to his name. Just about 105 health. He takes a headshot from a wingman. It's a wrap for him. But who's going to move in first? Oh, to the right. Gnaske goes in, but he can't make the play. He goes down there to Gentrifyinq. G2 wants to move up, but Dezignful, he's going to have to reevaluate his whole life. Taking a big shot there from Dale off the opposite end. Now, Aqualix trying to make it a 2v2 here towards the bridge side, but they're just going to reposition. They're looking for Dezignful. They know that he's weak on this side of the map, but Dale giving up some height advantage, some positioning. His teammate is going to go down behind him. It's going to all be up to him, but that's a knock. Sees the long range player. Dezignful weak. That's 2 knocks. It's doable. Does he want to weapon up the care package? He doesn't have the time for it. What a crazy round.
Wow, he actually had the chance to 1v3 G2 Esports. That would have been the most amazing Twitter clip ever. They're all pretty low. If he had maybe 1 or 2 shield cells, it could have been possible. It was a great effort. We've seen SirDel clutch before, especially in ALGS. Unfortunately, not on round 2 here, but it was really close and tight.
Yeah, no, it was very, very close. Great effort there from Dell. But we're about to head into round number 3 between both these squads. Folks, we hope you guys are having a fantastic time on this championship Sunday morning. This is where you're gonna get the best arenas gameplay out there. And so far, our players have delivered. No opening nades from the start. But we will see G2 get these early meds, putting those resources with the bubble, but across map. Gnaske with the longbow. He's going to acquire those meds off the opposite end, and he's going to go for a flame girl. I love that play.
Yeah, I'd like to see if G2 will be able to realize, because if they realize that Aqualix is just 2, they're going to push, and Gnaske's going to be way out of position. G2 Dezignful actually goes down, and now Gnaske has to try and catch up to his team, because now they're in a 2v2 situation. He gets an angle. Can he hit his shots from this far away? It's going to be really hard. He only has a little bit of room to see.
All right, the kill's cleaned up by Dale. It is still a 3v2 here for G2. And actually, I take that back. Sorry, folks. It's a 3v2 in favor of Aqualix, as G2 in a difficult spot. Dezignful had went down. Now Gentrifyinq and Resultuh having to back up. They need to at least alleviate some pressure, put out some damage as they're trying to run away, but the longbow's not allowing them to.
This one is a tough situation. It's 3 pros versus 2 pros. Normally ends up in the 3 pros' favor, right? Yuki taking some damage. They're playing it safe, though. None of them are going to get knocked for free here. Unless SirDel goes down to Resultuh. Are they making the comeback? They knocked 2. What am I watching? No way! They just 3v2 clutch G2 Esports going in! And that's why they're the champions.
This show just started. They're popping off like that.
Oh,
what the hell?
I
G2.
can't believe it.
And so check this out. Aqualix, their strat was great. They knew it was going to be a battle tit for tat early on, and G2 wasn't going to get too aggressive. So I love the flank with the longbow to get the meds and to put yourself in a position to be able to get some damage there in the side. So they did that great. But for Resultuh and Gentrifyinq to be able to... Resultuh was 1 shot at a certain point during the last second of that fight. Like, I'm still blown the fact that they won it, folks, okay? I am speechless. Some of you guys are, but I got some words for this next engagement. G2 at map point. And coming off that last round, they definitely have the momentum in their favor. But let's see what they can do. Let's see. We already going to see the meds acquired here towards the front. Now, this fight's going to slow down here for a second.
I don't understand how they lost that round. Normally that would be impossible, especially because Aqualix was full HP. I guess their teamwork going in wasn't as well as they thought it was. Maybe they were taking too many different angles, but G2 Esports hitting all of their shots as we expected today for them. Gnaske taking the wide angle again with the Havoc, though. It's nice to see the Havoc. The Havoc's a super strong weapon, but G2 is definitely going to know that they're there, and maybe they can get the push off. With the dome, they can actually dome forward, Gnaske won't be able to shoot them in the side, and then they should be able to get a 3v2 fight in here.
Oh, G2 getting backed up there by a few of those wingman shots. Gentrifyinq gonna pop this battery. He got 3 more batteries to work with in this round. Now, in the moment, who's gonna be able to get off that initial damage they can play off of? Dezignful on the flank.
Yeah,
Can't find anybody in screen just yet.
He's doing exactly what Gnaske's doing, but even further. So Gnaske's going around, now he's going around. He always finds the best timing to end up pinching Aqualix, and I think Aqualix realized that, and now Dezignful's scared.
But you're seeing great utilization of the Pathfinder in his kit. To be able to be a flanker, to be somebody who can disrupt your opponent's setup, but can quickly get out with some creative grapples. Whoa, or get initiated on with some creative grapples here, as you're going to see the boys of Aqualix looking to get some kills over here on the back end. Only 1 down comes through, but that's going to be what they need here to get this fight into their favor. But some nades coming down here. Resultuh in a power position, but he needs to connect with some of these shots, and just like that, the downs come in. G2 put themselves in a winning position after getting initiated on. They keep the high ground, and they show Aqualix that, hey, you guys messed up. Okay, it's levels to this. But now Gentrifyinq, can he make the play? It's a 1v2. The wingman shots connects, but in the end, it's going to be Aqualix who can finish the fight.
Yeah, I think they made a slight mistake there taking the jump pad. If he went down and made it a 2v2 with Resultuh, because in reality, it was a 1v2. Resultuh went in against both members of Aqualix, and then he went in a 1v2 as well. If he just went in with his teammate instead of spending all that time flying in the sky, taking his pilot lessons, they might have been able to win that. They were playing it so well. I think that's a slight mistake there.
Yeah, I agree. Just slight mistake there. And that's a great example to talk about when it comes down to team fights, right? Even though it's a 3v3 team fight to start, there are moments where players are able to find opportunities to make it a quick 2v1, to make it a quick 3v2, and to just disengage from engagement from their one-on-one matchup, so to speak, in the initiation of the team fight. So being able to identify that is something that's key. And we saw that there in a moment as Aqualix was able to take that 2v1 off the top. But as we see, a lot of aggression coming through from G2. Yuki's going to have to pop this battery, 2 more to his name. Gnaske, he got the longbow. He got some great angles. 2 can't connect with the Pathfinder. Dezignful knew that he was looking, but the Gibby takes a shot of 81. Resultuh about 20 HP to his name, but I don't think that we're going to see Aqualix move up on this one just yet.
Oh man, I would have liked to see them push up on that, because all of G2 Esports is either low or half HP, and that is crazy to see. And I really like the fact that G2 realized that Aqualix split up in the beginning, because you saw how aggressive and dominant they were trying to be, but it didn't work out. All of their shots didn't connect. If their shots connected there, they could have been a 3-0 wipe right there. Unfortunate. We go next. Now we're going to see a 3v3. Gentrifyinq is very low, though.
Now, Gentrifyinq getting these sails off. Dezignful just took a big shot from the longbow from Gnaske, as he has been absolutely harassing G2 majority of this map with that weapon. He's gonna have to continue to just kind of hit some shots there. Like, I'm loving the opening strategy here from Aqualix, because they know G2 isn't gonna really separate like that. Anytime we get this phase runner side of the map, they make sure that they got enough utility to kind of defend against that bridge side on the opposite end. Now G2, they're counting their numbers. They're seeing how many players are dropping out the TP, but when they do that, they're using that chance to initiate. But Aqualix, man, their defense is just too good, as they're waiting for Gnaske to get angles. He's hitting longbow shots, and if he starts to not connect, G2, they will absolutely have a field day in that mismatch in numbers. But as we see, is multiple players weak. Resultuh, he's full red. Well, he's not gonna have no shields there, but in the end, it is gonna be G2 who can clean up the round.
Yeah, it was a well done by Dezignful getting that first entry. I believe he flanked right there and was able to get that free kill. He took 100 damage, but not enough damage to get him too low to trade off. So great entry by Dezignful. putting them in the lead 3-2 here. If they win this next one, they can win map 1. But if they lose it, they're tied again.
All right. Aqualix, can you keep this one going? So far, it's been a great matchup. We do see this hill is going to be pulling over here towards the compound side. It's going to be a race for these opening meds. G2 on map point. But with the Pathfinder zip line, they're going to get a little bit of extra speed. We'll see if they will beat them. And yes, they will. Dezignful being able to get in, get a few of those meds spawning closest to him. He did take a longbow shot in the process. Great nades coming out from G2, but in the end, I like Aqualix positioning here.
100%. Gnaske is hitting all of his longbow shots today. The unfortunate part of it being that his team cannot push up on any of the damage that he's doing. So he's doing a lot, but they're gonna have to rethink or re-strategize. Maybe SirDel should be on that Pathfinder so he can go in after his teammate gets the longbow shots, because they need an entry fragger. They need someone to go in and get that. And if it's going to be Gnaske on the longbow doing all the damage on all angles, and he's the entry fragger, then I don't know if this is really going to work out.
And then, you know, we got to talk about the Wraith in the map too as well. You know, we haven't really seen, you know, too much of Wraith throughout this tournament. But when it comes down to this comp, you know, the mismatch is the Wraith and the Gibby. And you got to ask yourself, who's getting the most value out of those their respective characters, because this Wraith is going to have to put out some damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't see Wraith doing as well as Gibby in the map like this. There's so many areas where you can go in, dome up, and get those entries that you need for your team. And I haven't seen Wraith as a character doing as much as I would have hoped.
Yeah, but we'll see as, you know, we get more arenas tournaments, her viability, if it goes up. But in the moment, Aqualix is just going to have to make good usage of her. Now you see them, they connect with a big headshot. They could use this to initiate some sky nades, go over the top. Oh, Dezignful, he is the target, but it doesn't get a nice connection on him. Just about 15 HP going away there. He's still able to hold his positioning. So far, G is doing good, not getting backed up here by Aqualix, but neither team putting out enough damage where they feel comfortable to initiate off of, until I say something like that. Yuki, what you want to do?
They want to push him, but at the same time, he's in a corner and his teammates can cover fire. So Dezignful is in a bad spot, but also in a good spot because he has trust in his teammates. So now they're going to look forward to his teammates to try and get some headshots on top of them. Resultuh on that head glitch. We'll see what will happen here, but not enough damage. A crack? Okay, 50 flesh. Okay, now it's time to push. You can't let them survive on 1 HP twice.
Resultuh trying to desperately heal up, but here comes Yuki over the top, knowing that he has a weak Gibby in front, multiple players, but it comes down to a 1v1, and the Havoc will clean house. We're going to continue. Yeah. We're tied up 3-3. First to 5.
They overpeaked there on towards Aqualix. So Aqualix got 3 shots on the longbow in a row. Right. That is insane. 4 actually. 2, 3, 4. That's 4 in a row. Resultuh overpeaking there cost them the game. You cannot get to 50 HP in a tournament like this. They are going to push off of it. I know you're the Gibby and all, but it happened.
You know, and sometimes you get lost in a gunfight like that, right? You know, you get hit with a shot and you say, you know what, I got to hit a shot now, but you just don't connect and your opponent is not missing. Unfortunate for Resultuh, but in the end, we're excited because we're tied up 3-3. The zip line gets a nice connection there. Long route. He got about, I think he pretty much picked up all the meds, but 1 battery took a lot of damage. But now Yuki gets to disengage. He has the support of his teammates here. Gnaske, as you said before, girl, has been hitting multiple longbow shots. And we'll see how this fight is going to play out now.
Yeah, his longbow's doing a lot better now. Now that he's closer with his team, that they can push off of the damage. That's what I was talking about earlier. He's not across the map anymore. He's with his team. That way, if they need to push in a 3v2 situation while one of G2 is healing, they can. Earlier, they couldn't do that. Gnaske was across the map. If they pushed, they still would have been in a 2v2 situation, and it wouldn't have been favorable for them at all. Dezignful's taking so much damage. He's gonna have to grapple out. He was in there like swimwear. The battery's gonna pop off, but Aqualix looks like they have a lot more meds. If this is gonna be a med fight, it looks like they're gonna win that. So G2 is gonna have to figure out a strategy to take them down and take them down quick.
Oh, with the tension in this matchup, is both these squads looking for an opportunity to take in their time. A lot of respect here. That nade almost connect. I feel like both these units still a lot of frags to be used. You got Yuki, 2 to his name for this last fight. Oh, trying to thread and connect with the havoc there. G2, they're on the flank. They're putting some pressure here on Aqualix. They're able to get a knock. Now it comes down to G2 looking for SirDel, the last member here of Aqualix, as he is going to get his shields cracked. Going to rotate out. Now he gets some value there out of that Wraith, but he's still in a 1v3. Not much he can do there.
No, not at all. But I'd like to point out that Dezignful especially is on his A game today. He has been entry fragging left and right, round after round. He is the reason why I believe they won 2 out of 4 of those rounds with those entry frags. He's just coming in on the right. Aqualix isn't seeing it whatsoever. While one of them heals, they're getting pushed on the side and they don't know what to do. They're pinched and they lose that one out. Del cannot clutch all of these 1v3, so they're gonna have to play a little bit tighter. Maybe it's the Wraith.
Maybe it is the Wraith, because you got to ask yourself, when it comes down to initiating these team fights, the utility of Wraith, how can that help you, right? How can Octanes help you? How can Pathfinders help you? I feel like it's more of an all-in type of team comp. Oh, we saw G2 try to go over the top. They will close the distance between them and their opponent, but do they still want to go with this fight? Sentinel's in the hand of Gnaske. He has an angle off the left, but G2 knows how far away he is, so they start utilizing their numbers, isolating a quick 3v2, getting a knock. But look at their health, girl.
Oh, their health is quite full at this point. Well, Dezignful might actually go down there, but Gnaske's in a 1v2 situation. He almost takes down Resultuh. Resultuh does a huge amount of damage, and because he's playing Pathfinder, he can get out and heal with 20 HP, so they're gonna have to maybe pull the quick revive. Oh, they're going for him, and they're going for him quick. He's going to miss a couple EV8 shots, and that's G2 Esports winning the first map.
G2 getting it done in 5, and you know, they had to really kind of clutch up there in the end. Aqualix, man, they were fighting back. This was a good matchup to kind of kick off our tournament for today. A nice map number 1 between both these two teams, but when it came down to it, girl, you said it. You know, I think you mentioned Dezignful and how awesome that he was playing today, and saying that he was the big reason G2 had as much success as they have in map number 1.
Yeah, for sure. He flanked. So he was doing the exact same thing as Gnaske, but instead of using a longbow, he went in with the wingman. He was able to actually get those knocks that he needed. Gnaske was able to get a lot of knocks as well, but he had the longbow. It's not usually a gun that you fight close range and win your 1v1 against. It's something you play far range. So it really, really worked out for G2 Esports, and they realized Gnaske's way of going out into the open and trying to get off these flanks. They realized that, and that's why they pushed so dominantly in the beginning, and that's really what helped them out there. The IGLing was insane too.
Yeah, great job with them, and you almost see the 1v3 clutch on screen, but Resultuh says, no, sir, not today, not on us. But we saw a lot of interesting strategy between both these squads, and, you know, I think G2, you know, I feel like they play some great fundamental Apex, okay? And what I mean by that is Aqualix came out with a strategy saying, you know what, we're gonna send Gnaske off wide with the Pathfinder, let him use his grapples to put himself into some great flank positions, but also get back to the team when he needs to, and put out damage from the side. As you're gonna have Dale and Yuki play defense towards the back and just, you know, put out as much damage on G2 as they can, while Gnaske is grabbing nades and he's harassing off on the side. But G2 says, okay, cool, that's great. But when it comes down to fundamentals, Apex Legends, we got Gibby, and you guys are technically in a 2v3. So we're going to bubble down and we're going to get in your face and we're going to put the pressure on Gnaske and we're going to put the pressure on you guys to hit these shots since y'all wanted to come into this matchup and pick Wraith against us and think it was going to work out. So G2, man, they says, hey, they kept it simple and, you know, they got in there and they won some big gunfights, put out damage.
Yeah, 100%. They played wonderfully. Aqualix played wonderfully as well. Playing long range against a team like G2 that are so good at close range was the play. Artillery is next. We're going to see them play on that one. Who do you think is going to favor in artillery here?
You know what? When it comes down to artillery, I'm going to have to still favor with G2, okay? We know that their team comp so far throughout this tournament, they have not strayed away from it and has been successful matchup after matchup. And it seems to me like, you know, Aqualix, I need to see some better team fights from them because I feel like we saw very few there from the last map just because of their initial strategy and spacing away from G2, playing for that long range poke off the start. I want to see them be able to group up a little bit early on here in artillery and just really work as a unit here, you know, put out damage as a team, be there for each other, clean up these kills and get that initial man advantage and get in G2's face and show them that you can play up with them in those close range engagements as well.
100%. I think Aqualix is definitely going to change up their legends on this map as well. Mm-hmm. They're either going to go with Horizon or go with Gibby, just like G2. Horizon might work out for them in this map. I think it's actually going to favor Aqualix on this. Yeah. I know I said G2 would win the series, but Aqualix, this might be really good for them. They've already been warming up their longbow for the longest time. This is really good for long range. It does have a bit of close range as well, but I feel like they were winning in the med battle and the damage battle. Mm-hmm. And this is a map I feel like that could favor them or at least give them a good shot at winning this map number 2.
And you know, and I got a question for you too, because you mentioned it earlier that maybe SirDel needs to have that Pathfinder, right? And on the flip end, Gnaske has had this longbow. Gnaske has had this longbow throughout the last round, and we've seen these Gibbies put out a lot of damage from these buildings, and I think the longbow is going to be viable. Maybe they switch off here. Maybe they keep the same comp, and we are going to see them keep the same comp, but we know those longbows are going to be in play at a certain point. Now, lots of damage off the start, but the wingman shots connect. Dezignful trying to duck, dodge, and dip, gets back to the shield. Resultuh has his back. But with that early initial damage, they aren't able to find a kill just yet. And G2 is trying to reset this fight.
Oh, wow. Aqualix played that perfectly. They went for the bin and they got there beforehand. Dezignful took too much damage. Now it's going to be a 3v2 situation. Ooh. Really hard to clutch up on round 1, and they're going down like flies here. One more left to go. The Mozambique shots are going to hit. Now he's a little low, but his teammates come in and clean it up.
That Mozambique was twerking, man. It was hitting shots right there, okay? From afar, just so much damage. And when you upgrade that to the purple bolt, it's a all around useful first round weapon, okay? So as you see, we're about to head into this was coming in from Gnaske's perspective. He gets those early meds. Okay, the Mozambique is connecting, piecing up the Gibby, shredding his shield. He even tried to give some P2020 action as well. And then on the last player, great damage being output there by Gnaske. We're about to head into round number 2.
Yeah, the Mozambique is really good for round number 1, especially in a situation like that where it hits just so fast. Dezignful may have not gotten there fast enough. Oh my goodness! Gentrifyinq with a repeater on Yuki on the zip line. They're gonna get that fast res off, but Gentrifyinq, nice shots.
So much damage being put out between both these squads, and you know, luckily enough for the side of Aqualix that, you know, they were putting out damage up top, because if Gnaske didn't hit those longbows, it would have been G2 pressing that down off the opposite end, but 2 players needed to heal in the back. So the long range damage coming out for both these squads, but now G2, they're feeling a little antsy. Well, they're going to start to heal up now, looking for an opportunity. Care package is about to come down. Both squads getting ready for the second engagement.
I really like seeing the diversity of the weapons being chosen on this map. And this, like I said, it's a great map for long-range poking. They're going to be on each side of the map on their respective side, and you're just going to see the poking until one team is able to get that knock.
Now that's a wingman versus a longbow. I don't know if you want that long range battle.
Nope.
Gnaske, as he is just waiting for anyone from G2 to poke out. He has his grapple to cut the distance. He has his zip line above him as well. He can be anywhere on this map in a span of 3 seconds if he really wants to. So he's just going to keep giving intel to his team, letting them know exactly where G2 is. Now, on the flip end for G2, I'm thinking about how do they want to initiate on this one. Dezignful, he's going to be down low, playing a low ground, playing around his care package. It will be open. He needs to watch screen left. But you're going to start to see Aqualix. They get in, they get out. Dezignful, I don't know which weapon he ran out with, but I know he still got that longbow in hand. He actually going to get the bow. He's going to get the bow.
And here we have it. Aqualix out damaging G2. In artillery, Dezignful trying to do something cheeky. Doesn't have enough meds, I don't believe. So this is going to be an all-in situation. Once Dezignful goes in, his team will go in, and it'll either be a wipe or they're all going to be dead. But he's not going to poke any longer because, like I said, no meds. So Gentrifyinq, he's going to peek, but maybe he's not going to peek. Maybe he has no meds as well. And they're just going to have to wait for the round to close. Dezignful might get some really nice shots from underneath.
Man, he must have been broke this round. Looking at his kit, not having much. But that's a lot of damage coming out on the other end. Resultuh goes down. Aqualix looking to move in here soon. Gentrifyinq, he's going to be one shot as well. He gets knocked as he's reloading. And it's up to Dezignful, but he has no chance in hell. Aqualix, they go up 2-0, and they're going to be at map point.
And they output some pretty good damage with the amount of mats that they had. But it was like a 3v1 steering down a hallway. You can't win that. You can't get the better amount of shots through because the Aqualix were all together and they were all shooting back. So most likely they're definitely going to win these shots through here. Let's take a look at Gnaske shooting down the barrel. Ooh, got him right in the side.
And just the damage of that longbow is it's a lot of pressure. Okay, it's suffocating at times, especially when you're in those little late game situations in those tight quarters. You know, it's the definition of anxiety when it comes down to competitive gaming. Some opening nades here at the pills. It's going to be Dezignful, able to get a lot of meds, but this is a quick initiation using a jump pad. They get on Gentrifyinq. The down is there. The 3v2 is in, and for Aqualix, but Resultuh Dezignful, we've seen them do it before. The Gibby bubble goes down. They're trying to reset the fight, get it on their own terms, but they got to find a kill. Gnaske is going to be first on their hit list. The wingman shots connect. They can't get the second, and they have to dodge multiple nades, but this is still winnable. They know that they have to continue pressing forward. They cannot allow their opponent to reset with the man up, so nades come through. The jump pad is there. Aqualix even needs a breather. Dale sacrifices his life for the squad, gets the knock, and the help comes from afar.
Wow, incredible 3-0. They really gave G2 a run for their money here. It was an incredible play with the jump pad. I was not expecting that, but that is Aqualix. They have all these tricks under their sleeves. They have the IGLing. They kind of have these mind games that they're playing with G2. They had to do the long range pokes in the beginning. They did that, and then, hey, surprise, we're jump padding on you. No long range fight. We are ahead 2-0, and we're going to clean this one out, and that's what they did.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. You know, big plays being made there by Aqualix in that last round. But folks, we are all tied up 1-1 in an epic first series of the day between G2 and Aqualix. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we got map number 3 coming up, and we'll see who can take the lead in this series.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Girl and Blaze, and what a first 2 maps. First and foremost, the first map was incredible. Back and forth action. You'd love to see it. Phase Runner, it typically never disappoints. G2 does very well on that map, but Aqualix, good on them for keeping it as close as they did. SirDel just about 1v3ing in round 2. Incredible stuff all around. But let's talk about the more telling, at least in my mind, map number 2, guys. We're looking at, obviously, artillery. Big 3-0 victory coming out for Aqualix girl. And what's very telling about this is the fact that G2 doesn't pick up a single elimination in map 2 artillery.
Yeah, it was just really, really dominant by Aqualix. They didn't let them win a single round, so they weren't able to do anything, even if they got a knock, which I'm not sure if they did. They definitely did, but they weren't able to capitalize on their knock because it was from so far away. But now we're coming to Thermal Station, and that is G2's map. They are going to do well on this, and I'm for sure they're going to do super well on this, but let's see if Aqualix maybe can stick them with a few arc stars or have some strategies that they've thought out. You know, Gnaske is going to take those far wide angles on them with the longbow, or maybe a repeater this game. So
yeah, Blaze, you were impressed with that. I was impressed with that. Gnaske with his longbow has been connecting shot after shot. Girl, you mentioned that one knock. That was Gentrifyinq just lasering. I think it was Yuki who was on the zip. He gets down, but they're not able to convert it because Blaze pointed out, look, Gnaske, he's putting down those longbow shots. Without those shots, at that point, G2's pushing. That round goes a lot differently, and who knows, maybe you guys are still casting over it. But going to G2's homeland, let's see how it's going to work out. Blaze, girl, let's see the action unfold.
All right, folks, just to really set this one up, G2, both these squads had an epic map number 1, okay? But then Aqualix absolutely shut down our defending champions of this tournament in map number 2. For G2 not to get a single kill, folks, that's unlike them, okay? At this level of gameplay, it's actually, you know, from a player standpoint, you know, you kind of feel kind of embarrassed in that moment. So knowing how, having a little inkling of how G2's feeling here, and as we head on over towards Thermal Station, their drop point when it comes down to Battle Royale, their hometown, this is this location, this terrain, they know like the back of their own hands. And now I feel, and with all that being said, I feel like they need to beat up here on Aqualix worse than they just got beat down here in map number 2, girl.
Absolutely. And here we start off. Are they running Wraith again? I believe I saw a Wraith there, and Dezignful taking in a lot of damage. Did he get the meds? He's going to run away. He has the battery in hand, and oh my goodness, what a round start. I think they both got meds. They both went for either sides, but Gnaske down to 1 HP. Dezignful can smell it. He is going forward. He needs to connect his shot. The grapple comes through, but he doesn't jump fast enough. Oh no, he's not going to feel good about that, and he's lost him. There's no Bloodhound, no Seer in this series, so you're not going to know exactly where someone is unless you've seen them walk there prior to.
And now you got to crank up those headsets, get a initial mark on him, and use your brain. Ask yourself, where will he rotate to? What is his play? Where does he need to be for his squad and play around that intel? But as we see the long range Mozambique shots for both these squads connecting, G2 having control here, center line towards center map, but the circle pulls towards the outside. Aqualix, they have the advantage when it comes down to the void, but at the end, G2, I don't think that's going to be bothering them too much because they know that they have to initiate a move in anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Dezignful, maybe not going to heal.
Aqualix has their back to the zone, to the wall. This is actually where G2 wants to be. They just have to say, we're initiating now and commit. If they commit to the play, they have the perfect positioning, but Resultuh gets knocked. Aqualix, they're gonna break free. Well, break free from the pinch that they were in for G2, creating that opening, but it's not over with yet. Gentrifyinq hitting some nice shots with the Mozam. Big play if he can get the knock. 2v1, Dale, he cannot escape, and G2 will take this round.
They did not want to let him out. No Mozambique bullets. I'm gonna go in with my P2020 with no attachments. I don't care, SirDel. You are not getting away. This is our home turf, and we're gonna win it. Really well played by G2 Esports on the first ever round here on Thermal Station against Aqualix today. So congrats to them. That's what we've been waiting to see. See if they can do this one again.
All right. See if they can make it happen. We'll see what the opening strat's going to be for both these squads. No one's going to be really going towards dome side. Not going to be in a ring. Both teams focusing towards the right. Some initial nades about to come in from Yuki, but Gnaske with the longbow connects on Octane in the air. Cracks the Gibby. Cracks the Octane. 101 on him as well. What a nasty shot. But what can Aqualix do off that damage, folks? They're looking to move in. The res is coming through. Dezignful never even got a chance to pop off that battery. He gets his off, and then Resultuh, he's going to be A-okay. But now Dezignful gets focused on. Aqualix knows where these remaining 2 players are, trapped at the ropes. They get pushed at back trolley. But what a shot coming out from Resultuh. He makes it a 2v2, and just that quickly, girl, when Aqualix, they had all the advantages that they wanted. It's an even fight.
It is, but G2 is so very low. Resultuh is like 1 tap from going down. They are taking these angles, though. They know they got the height. They just got to hold these angles, make sure they hit their shots. It's a 2v1, so SirDel's going to heal up, and he's going to be able to heal up to full HP. And that is clutchable when you're full HP and you're against 2 players that are very low. He's going to have to try and get these shots through the staircase. He can't do it quite yet. He's staying on his teammate's shield. He goes up. He hits his immediate first shot, which is very nice, but he's not climbing up. Wow,
no.
Amazing shot.
Hold up.
He's not missing.
Hold up.
He is not missing a single shot. He's going to heal. Back to
He
full
pops
HP. They
the
have
battery.
to jump on him. They
have to play this. They're scared. Oh no! Trying to tag a toe through the stairs. He rotates around. Hits the second shot, but in the end, G2, they get focused up and they are able to get the knock. But my God, Dale was about to sun and night both of them. But in the end, he couldn't get it done. I am like, when it comes down to it, girl, I am Dale and Yuki. They got to play off that damage a little bit quicker. I have nothing bad to say about Gnaske and the longbow shots in which he hit. Now, I will say I didn't see how he kind of initiated on that fight, but in the end, they had a man advantage. That was their round to win.
Yeah, it's really hard to play off that because you also have to watch out for the other team members. You can't go in with a blindfold over your face just because you're in a 3v2 situation. And Gnaske is the one with the grapple, right? He was able to get in really fast, but he died for free. If he didn't die for free, if he output some damage going in, maybe they could have worked off of that. But while they were walking up, taking their precautions, hey, they let G2 res, and that actually turned out to be in G2's favor. The close range on G2, and the fact that they revived there, that was insane.
Dezignful, he dodges multiple shots in the air and will collect all the meds from that pill. G2 economy is looking good, and their confidence is sky high. 2-0 on their home turf. And I talked about how they had to come out here in 3-0. Aqualix just as bad as they got beat the previous map on artillery just to make a statement. And I think they're doing just that, especially with that comeback that we saw in the previous round.
You know their blood is flowing through their veins right now. They want this 3-0, and they can certainly get it. This is their map to win. And who knows, maybe Aqualix 3-0s them on the next map, and every shot hits. SirDel is a crackhead.
Yeah, nah, he is cracking. He is absolutely cracking there with that wingman. And I have to say this, that the fact that, you know, he is putting out a lot of damage with that Wraith, and he is aggressive. You know, I'm still questioning the Wraith and her viability in arenas. And, you know, could Dale be more useful in a different champion? But right now, he is fighting to keep Aqualix alive in this map.
He is indeed, and that nade just about almost hits. Yuki has to heal up. Gnaske, oh no, that's the bad thing about playing the longbow is you're scoped in too long, and he almost died. It's a great thing to pair a longbow with the Pathfinder because he got out of there quick.
Now, Dezignful, he's gonna pop his battery. He got 2 left to his name. We talked about G2's economy, and I think they're in a great spot. Gentrifyinq with 1,000 damage to his name so far. 1,500 on SirDel. Rightfully so. I'm not surprised to see that, but we'll see if he got the most in the lobby here later. Now, Aqualix, they are stuck here towards the center. G2 knows this. And I like this play by Gnaske. Get a different positioning, find a different sight line. He's pre-firing a corner, does not know exactly where his opponent is, but with that peek, he sees all three. Aqualix comes out. They're trying to command some sights, trying to fire back, put out some damage. Yuki goes down. G2 feeling comfortable in this moment, but Dezignful needs to get back in the fight soon. A long-range nade. I don't think he has any more batteries to pop, but Gentrifyinq lap it with the Mozam. He's knocked and the kills cleaned up. G2 responds with the 3-0 of their own.
And you see that mini victory dance there on the ground. Obviously, they're going to be really happy about that. That's going to put them 2-1 in this whole series. Now, I'm going to assume that the next map is going to be in favor of Aqualix, since that map surely was in favor of G2. So this is probably going to be a little bit closer and maybe not a clean sweep for G2 in this next one round.
Well, we'll see if that holds true, because, you know, it's going to come down to how G2 is going to just kind of just build off this win heading into that next map. We got a close one between both these squads, and we'll see what map number 4 is in just a bit, and we'll, you know, start breaking it down. But just to kind of focus here, this round specifically, those longbow shots from Gnaske was great. That was a must win for them, and you saw the down there that came through from Gnaske as he flew in, and that was really what changed around. You could make so many great plays in an early round, but then absolutely throw it away 2 seconds later, right? And that's what he did.
Yeah, that's happened quite a bit actually with the Aqualix squad. Is they're getting some really good shots early game, but they need to figure out, maybe they need more jump pads. They need a way to get in there and get in there quick, because Gnaske is hitting his shots. There's no doubt about it. They're all playing super well. SirDel almost actually clutched in that 1v2 situation. Maybe if he went forward with his 100 HP instead of going down batting and then putting himself in a 3v1 situation. But our next map, Gardens. What do you think about that? There's definitely going to be a lot of grenades, a lot of preset grenades, but I don't know, is G2 good on this map?
You know, I think G2 is going to be okay on this map. They do a great job working that Gibby bubble up top, and we also got to, you know that there is going to be a good side and a bad side here, as we learned yesterday, and we'll see how both these squads can utilize that. But yeah, you know, we saw a lot of usage of the frag grenades and those pre-nades on certain power positions to really nullify the jump pads and the Pathfinder zip lines for positioning of the high ground. And I think we will see that once again. But, you know, I want to kind of double back here a second, because as we were talking about Aqualix, and we talked about how Gnaske's putting out damage, Dale's damn near clutching, you know, Yuki is all over the map. He's being a nuisance, focusing fire towards his direction, but they cannot get on the same page when it comes down to initiating in these team fights. And what do they need to get better at that specifically after they put out so much early damage in the fights?
To be honest, in those situations, perhaps Yuki needs a jump pad, and as soon as Gnaske grapples in, he can also jump pad in, and then they can all be on the same page and they can be together. But maybe the lack of jump pads is what's doing for it to them. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and you know, and I think when it comes down to it, what you said, they need to get on the same page, right? Yeah. And that's going to take somebody with a powerful voice, a good IGL, someone to really, you know, make that call out when we're going to be aggressive, when we're going to be passive. Just keep the objective clear, because you know the players have different play styles, okay? And in the end, everybody is seeing what that perfect play is differently. Rather, they feel like they need to get a height advantage, or they need to disengage and go help their teammate. If you have somebody to always keep the objective clear, then that's one of the quickest ways for you to be able to output the most damage, have the best positioning, and you know, just be the better squad in a 3v3. It's as simple as that. Now we're about to head into map number 4. Can G2 closes out, or will Aqualix get us to that map number 5?
Well, it seems certain that both teams have mads here, so this round isn't going to end super quick. It's definitely going to be a damage battle still. They're going to try and get as much damage as they can on the opposing team and kind of drain them out. This might be a draining map, because it's going to end center. They're on both sides of the map, and they have a lot of space to play.
Yeah, a lot of space indeed. And both teams will take those respective good sides and play away from each other to start. They're going to get some extra economy with each other, and they're okay with that. They're okay with this slow start. But as G2, they had the better position because they will be able to collect on this care package, multiple heavy weapons in there. And as you said, girl, the circle will pull towards the center. This is going to be a taxing map for the economy, and I think this map is going to play out a little bit slower than we've seen it yesterday, and we will see more longbows and long-range weapons like the repeater and the scout.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yesterday, it's everyone jump adding for the same building. And in round 1 here, they both played different sides, and what a wonderful headshot by Gnaske there.
I need a med after that one. Now, he's trying to get a flow, but that's when it comes down to the repeater. I am absolutely awful with this gun, and it just comes down to me finding a flow and a pace in which I'm shooting, because sometimes I can just get too antsy and I just start feathering that trigger really fast, but next thing you know, my accuracy is just out the door. My damage is out the door as well, but not for these players, man. Composure, trigger discipline. Now, G2, they haven't found a specific fight in which they want to initiate on just yet, but for them, they're okay putting out damage because look at the height advantage in which they have, and look how difficult this is for Aqualix to push up. But Gnaske feeling like he wants to go for possibly a grapple and get up top. Instead, they're going to play under. Nice shots from Dezignful.
Oh, perfect decision making by them. This should be a sweep. They've already down 2. They're going to jump down with pretty much full HP. The doors are being kicked.
Fight back, please, please. Open up.
Open up.
The Riot Squad comes through. G2, they get their first round on the board, and they're feeling confident after that one. But let's see if both squads will trade off their respective sides, because it's a high possibility that Aqualix may just wants to play the low side of the map, and we'll get that classic engagement that we've seen on Garden so far throughout our tournament, down low where we get the zip lines to the lower building, we get the multiple nades being tossed out. But just after seeing that last round, girl, I think the better play is to just kind of trade off the start and then move in eventually.
Yeah, it is a really good strategy. It leaves less room for error, I feel like. There's less room to get naded out by a random grenade flying through the air. Dezignful, he's going to play it back. They're actually the ones that are going to play it further. They're not going to try and take height as of yet. Oh, he goes for the nades. It's very risky, but he was able to do it. Perfect. Good thing he didn't get headshotted when he jumped there.
And so we see why it is the good side and bad side, because that Pathfinder grip line, zip line off the other end can't connect to the highest building like it will on the other spawn that Aqualix has. So, but G2 knew that, and they wanted to still contest. And they come over with some sky nades. Yuki's one shot, Dale's one shot. Aqualix, it's a Mr. Krabs moment. The jig is up, and G2 says, hey, we're coming for the dub. It's Championship Sunday. Open up once again. This is our building. You don't have a permit to be here. Give us the round.
It surely is Championship Sunday, and they're gonna 3-0 them on this map potentially. I don't know 100%, but those nades, whoever threw those frag grenades that connected on 2 of Aqualix's members, they opened it up. They were the entry fragger there. They did all of the damage, and it was just so clean.
It really was. It was a great initiation from them. They came in with a game plan, and it was one in which their opponent didn't expect, because most times during this tournament, the squads with that bad side have not really contested. But G2 came into it with a strategy, knowing that they were going to get some nades up there and get some initial damage. But now Aqualix, they flip on over, but G2 says, we want to fight you, so we're going to play your good side, which is our bad side. But we're coming into a hot sky nades coming in from Gnaske. There is an engagement inside house, but as you're going to see, Gentrifyinq, he rotates up a little bit late. And in this moment, ooh, okay. The knock doesn't come through. The reposition is there. Gentrifyinq will keep the high ground, but he has to dodge the nades. And G2 has absolutely bullied Aqualix off this positioning. And now, knowing that they have control, knowing that they're setting the pace for the fight, they don't even need to ask themselves anything else. They know exactly where their opponent is. The nades come through. They are staying aggressive, not giving Aqualix any time to breathe. Just trying to drown them now in this round number 3. Get them out of this tournament. Get them out of this position. In G2, they are just being bullies. Progress them. Move them to the semifinals.
And it really shows how well Gibraltar would have worked for Aqualix there, because they could have used dome on roof, but unfortunately they haven't gotten a dome, right? So I really question the Wraith plays in a lot of these maps. I don't know what you think about the Wraith plays, but G2, they played it patiently, and that's not something we kind of expect from G2. We expect them to rush in, win their 1v1s, and it really worked out for them on this map. They're so smart.
Well, what do you think, Blaze? I mean, obviously G2 not the ones to slow down, but that's not a bad thing per se, because clearly it works out. They slow things down. They still get a 3-0 with a different look. I think they slowed down, quite honestly, because not only FaZe Runner going to 5-3, but also losing 3-0 on artillery. You know, G2 had to respect Aqualix up close and personal, and slowing it down might have been the better play against this team.
You know, for when it comes down to slowing down, right? What do we mean by that? What we mean by slowing down is being able to just slow that initial and get control over the fight, get some more intel, not really playing into your opponent's hands, so to speak, especially if you've been losing a few different rounds. You need to slow it down and change the pace. Now, for some teams out there, that can take them 30 seconds in a moment to really slow down and get back on the same page and slowly bring that momentum in their favor. But for G2, that could be in a span of 5 seconds, depending on the situation in which they're in. And in that last round, even with them, you know, going over to kind of challenge their opponent there, off the start, they bullied them off the positioning of that building. Aqualix, you know, in that moment, even if they had the advantage for a second, G2 was able to identify their positioning, their situation, where all the players were, and that quickly they says, hey, it's time for us to be the aggressors. They slowed down for a brief moment, got back to it on the same page, and they made the best of their opportunity in a given moment. And that was to just keep applying pressure, keep putting out damage, go clean up the kills. And it takes a great IGL to do that. It takes some fast-thinking players, but most importantly, it takes some great team chemistry.
And girl, real quick, when it comes to Gentrifyinq, same thing like last tournament to this tournament statistically. Gentrifyinq was the one getting the damage, right? Whether it be up close, by far, didn't matter. Resultuh was the one to slide in and get those finishes. That duo works out so incredibly well.
Yeah, and Dezignful going in for the entry frag. So they each have their own role. One of them playing defense, getting all of the damage. One of them finishing the fight, and one of them starting the fight. And it works so well for them as a team. They all have their specific role. They're all comfortable with each other, and they really protect each other well. So if Dezignful takes too much damage, they are right beside him, cover firing, and it works out so smoothly and perfectly for them.
Yeah, and that cover fire, right, even made a difference, especially going to G2's homeland on Thermal Station. You know, Blaze was constantly pointing out Aqualix, they need to capitalize on those downs. They didn't feel comfortable doing so because any G2 member that was still alive, look, it may be 2 of them, and you could even have 3. It didn't matter. You knew once you were pushing in, they were going to be covering each other, covering down, and it wasn't going to be an easy fight. G2 did that very well. Blaze, our bracket is looking pretty stacked. Both of our first, at least, series on top of the bracket are finished with, and check that one out, man. Sentinels getting the 3-0 over Premier. Now, granted, I think they started at the beginning of the show, but at least from my perspective, before G2 and Aqualix even finished FaZe Runner that went 5-3, that series was completely done with. Premier got 3 eliminations throughout the entirety of the 3 games against Sentinels.
Oh, man. Just 3 eliminations? Wow.
And that was in a game 3 too.
That's, oh my God, that's not good, man. Sentinels are here to play, but we know G2 is here to play as well, as we just got done watching them play Aqualix. And now for this semifinals, I am going to be so excited to cast it with girl, because I think that one's going to be a banger. G2 versus Sentinels. Woo, we got a treat on our hands, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible one. I can't wait to see who moves on from that one. Sentinels, they're hungry, like without a question. G2, though, continues to be the top dog, and it looks like no one is going to be able to dethrone them. I'm going to say, though, if I'm Sentinels, I might want to throw artillery in there. That 3-0 beatdown was pretty convincing, and not to mention, G2 didn't pick up a single elimination. Got a couple of knocks, but they weren't able to capitalize in a moment. So maybe artillery is where G2 can finally bleed, but you got to get a win in those first 3 maps because you never know if G2 is going to 3-0 you, right? So artillery needs to be one of the first 3. Regardless, though, hey, Blaze Girl, well done casting. I think it was a great series. Aqualix brought their A game. G2 was just a little bit too much.